Want to be the MVP of your fantasy football league this season? Your path to glory might just be a few picks away.
Given time, he wants Jefferson, climbs the ladder. Oh my goodness!
Did you know that last season, the average wide receiver scored around 150 fantasy points? But what if I told you that some wideouts defied those odds, pushing past the 200-point mark and completely changing the game for fantasy football management? The difference between a good draft and a great draft is often determined by the wide receivers you pick. So, if you're serious about hoisting that championship trophy and earning those all-important bragging rights, this video is an absolute must-watch. We're diving deep into the top 10 wide receivers to target this fantasy football season. We've got the stats, projections, and all the inside info you need. This is one countdown you can't afford to miss. Number 10, Jalen Waddle, wide receiver for the Dolphins. Alright, at number 10 we have Jalen Waddle, and let me tell you, he's a game changer.
Over the middle, got his man, and look at him go! Jalen Waddle for the touchdown!
After his rookie year, there's a tweet to prove this. I think I said he was going to be top 5 or top 10.
A lot of folks thought Tyreek Hill joining the Dolphins would shadow Waddle. Guess what? Waddle still crushed it, averaging 15.2 PPR points last season. Now he's going into year 3, and you can confidently draft him as early as late round 2 in any league. But hey, a heads up. His performance does take a hit when Tua Tagovailoa is not on the field. Good news though, the Dolphins picked up Mike White, who could keep Waddle's numbers up if Tua faces another injury. Waddle already has 2 solid seasons, and this one could be his best. So when draft day comes, keep Waddle on your radar. He's a pick you won't regret. Number 9, CeeDee Lamb, Dallas Cowboys. In at number 9, we got CeeDee Lamb. After starting off with 2 decent seasons, 2022 was when Lamb really showed what he's made of. Not only did he outdo his previous stats, but he also ranked up impressively among wide receivers in several categories, like target share, receptions, and more. While some might be wary of his career low-end zone targets and slightly fortunate TD streak, it's worth knowing that Lamb's sheer talent and potential for a massive target share makes him a strong contender.
Man rush, pressure on Rush, fires, caught for the touchdown, CeeDee Lamb.
One of the most complete receivers in the league.
Man, this guy's got something special to him.
He's always ready for the moment.
At just 24 years old, he's one of the most promising young receivers out there. Think of him as a mid-range wide receiver 1 with an ace up his sleeve. After all, Lamb might still have a groundbreaking season up ahead. If you want a blend of proven performance and untapped potential, Lamb's your guy. Number 8, Garrett Wilson, wide receiver for the New York Jets. At number 8, Garrett Wilson is the rookie sensation who turned heads last season. Named the Offensive Rookie of the Year in 2022, Wilson was exceptional, racking up 1,103 receiving yards and 4 touchdowns. And here's the kicker, he wasn't even a full starter until week 8.
Flacco over the middle, it's caught, touchdown, Garrett Wilson.
Aaron Rodgers got to be pumped about his new weapon in Garrett Wilson, who recently received some high praise.
He talks smack, he's intense, he wants to win.
Despite playing with 3 different quarterbacks, Wilson managed to stand out, beating veterans like Chris Olave, DJ Moore, and Jerry Jeudy in fantasy points. In terms of target share, he's a beast, grabbing 25% of all throws and running routes on 86% of the plays. His 146 targets? Well, that landed him the top 10 in the NFL. Wilson's stats show he's more than just a one-season wonder. He's got lasting value. If you're looking at a breakout candidate with sky-high potential to your fantasy lineup, Garrett Wilson should be on your radar. Number 7, Devonte Adams, wide receiver for the Raiders. Up next, sitting at number 7 on our list is Devonte Adams, the wide receiver for the Raiders.
Carr, Adams, downfield, he's got it, touchdown, Las Vegas.
Number 1.
Number 1.
Best receiver.
Devonte Adams.
Devonte Adams.
he for sure deserved to be on this list.
After an impressive 2022 season, Adams is back and ready to make his mark yet again, dominating the field with a whopping 32% target share and 2,137 air yards. He's proven himself as a top-tier choice 3 years running. Since 2017, he hasn't dipped below the top 6 in fantasy PPG. Although last season saw a shift in his role, leading to a 56% catch rate, we expect Adams to bounce back. With Jimmy Garoppolo stepping in, Adams is likely to receive more high-percentage looks. Despite hitting the big 3-0, age seems just like a number for Adams as he's geared up to deliver another season of elite performance. For those seeking a solid wide receiver 1, Adams is a brilliant pick. Number 6, A.J. Brown, wide receiver for the Eagles. Coming in at number 6 on our list is A.J. Brown, who's been a game changer since joining the Philadelphia Eagles last season.
Loaded up, taking a shot, looking for A.J. Brown. He's got it! Touchdown!
He can change the game. It's what we can all see.
He set career highs across the board, from targets and receiving yards to a whopping 11 touchdowns. Even while sharing the limelight with Devonte Smith, Brown is still top target, ranking high in both volume and efficiency metrics. With the Eagles' offense geared to support multiple standout wide receivers, Brown is a stellar pick for any fantasy football team. If you're looking for high impact with excellent stats, do not sleep on A.J. Brown. Number 5, Stefan Diggs, wide receiver for the Bills. At number 5 on our list, we have Stefan Diggs, wide receiver for the Bills. Since donning the Bills jersey in 2020, Diggs has consistently showcased his prowess on the field. He's never fallen below 5th among wide receivers in key metrics like targets, receptions, receiving yards, and fantasy points. In the past 3 seasons, he's always been among the top 7 fantasy scorers. Impressive.
2nd and 10. Stepping up into the logo and throw. He's got Diggs wide open. It's caught. Touchdown.
He's just nasty, man. That's just one of the things to explain him. When somebody's on the basketball court, like, that's just a nasty player.
Diggs boasted 9 top 10 fantasy performances in 2022 alone. 5 seasons in a row with at least 1,000 receiving yards, and his career best 11 TDs last season prove he's in top 4. At 29, Diggs is in his prime, making him an integral part of Buffalo's explosive pass-centric offense. For those in search of a reliable mid-range wide receiver 1, Stefan Diggs should be high on your radar. Number 4, Tyreek Hill, wide receiver for the Dolphins. Coming in hot at number 4 on our list is Tyreek Hill from the Dolphins.
Tua going deep. Oh, he's got Hill! He's got Hill! That is 6!
Man, they getting one of the fastest guys to play this game.
Don't think people really realize how fast Tyreek Hill really is.
Now, some of you might be thinking, Hill left Mahomes. Why is he still ranked so high? Well, let me break it down for you. Hill set career high marks in almost every relevant category last year, including target share at 30% receptions, yardage, and fantasy points. He didn't just thrive, he owned the field. He finished 2nd among wide receivers in fantasy points and was a top 25 scorer in a jaw-dropping 15 out of 17 weeks. Now, about those 8 touchdowns. Impressive, right? But get this, he scored 0 TDs when Tua Tagovailoa was out or left injured. So with a healthy Tua, expect those TDs to skyrocket. Hill is still in his prime at 29 and is one of the few who could actually top the wide receiver leaderboard this fantasy season. No bias, just facts. Tyreek Hill is a dynamic pick. Number 3, Cooper Kupp, wide receiver for the Rams.
I enjoy watching Coop. I always tell him if he's having a good game. If he's having a good game, I'm letting you know, hey, you're balling, brother.
Cooper Kupp's the guy.
And there's Kupp out of the backfield to the 5. What a move! Touchdown! Cooper Kupp. Rams open the 3rd.
At number 3 on our list, we got Cooper Kupp, wide receiver for the Rams. Now, let's talk numbers. Over the last 2 seasons, Kupp is averaging an astonishing 24.7 fantasy points per game. That's over 4 points better than any other wide receiver during that time. Last year was massive for him, with a 145, 1947, 16 receiving line, averaging 25.9 fantasy points and 11.3 targets per game. Even when he played only 8 full games, he was a top 10 fantasy scorer in 6 of them. Sure, he's 30 and has had some injuries, but his production has not slowed down. With Matthew Stafford throwing to him, Kupp remains an elite fantasy option you'd want on your roster. Number 2, Jamar Chase, wide receiver for the Bengals.
He's advanced, man.
He has sneaky speed.
Good routes, good strong hands.
Burrow throwing this side of the field. Jamar Chase with the catch and up the sideline. And there he goes. Jamar Chase to the end zone for the touchdown.
Securing the number 2 spot on our list is none other than Jamar Chase, the Bengals star wide receiver. Why the buzz around Chase? Well, he's the young prodigy rivaling the great Randy Moss in early game achievement. Injuries? No biggie. Last season, even with a hip setback, he led the Bengals in key stats. This dynamo has a penchant for big plays, consistently delivering top-notch performances. Plus, his strong partnership with Joe Burrow, tracing back to their LSU days, means we can expect more fireworks on the field. In short, if you're looking for a wide receiver who's a game changer and a crowd pleaser, Chase is your go-to pick. Do not miss out on this fantasy gold mine. Number 1, Justin Jefferson, wide receiver for the Vikings. And now, claiming the throne at number 1 is none other than Justin Jefferson, wide receiver for the Vikings.
He's the real deal for sure. I mean, he's just so slippery, man. Like, his route, man, I would describe it as silk.
#1 guy in the league this year.
Cousins over the middle. How is he that wide open? Jefferson again inside the 10, lunging for the end zone.
Over the past 2 seasons, no wide receiver has outscored him or produced more receiving yardage. The 2020 first-round pick has been dominating the field, leading in snaps, routes, targets, receptions, yards, fantasy points, and even top 10 fantasy weeks with a whopping 9. Despite a bit of bad luck in the TD department, 8 TDs, 10.4 expected, he clinched the title of fantasy's top-scoring wide receiver. Keep your eyes on the prize as he's ranked top 5 in end zone targets for 2 seasons straight. And if you got the first overall pick, he's a no-brainer to secure. Justin Jefferson is the name to remember for a championship-worthy draft. That wraps up our countdown of the top 10 wide receivers to target this season. The right choices now can pave your way to fantasy football dominance. So, did our list match your prediction? Or do we miss a hidden gem you're keen on drafting? Drop a comment below and let's spark a debate. If this guy lit up your drafting strategy, do us a favor. Hit that like button. Sharing is caring, so make sure to share this video with your league mates, or maybe not. Keep that edge. To stay ahead of the curve with more tips, analysis, and fantasy football revelations, click on that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications. Here's to making every pick count into an epic fantasy football season ahead. Cheers, and see you on the leaderboard.